the Sangha great virtues. For the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo hạ môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, thất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Namo Sananto Sichedo Ye Alahadi San Miao San Puto Xie. Namo Dak Dak Tha Toya Daja Alahade Tam Miao Tam Bodha Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principle doctrines. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian万劫难遭遇，我今借闻得受持，愿解如来真实。O Buddhas and bodhisattvas, Great Master Qingliang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors of Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、清凉大士、师父、上人各位、出家人各位、上智sư Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Thiện Điện Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 6th of July 2025. We're here at Dharma Temple to continue discussing the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. Thank you for joining us. We're currently on slide 122. Okay, let's jump right into it. Kumbhan the king, terrifying, gain a passage into liberation or revealing to all sentient beings the path of fearlessness that leads to peace and security.
可怖为鸠盘荼王，得开示一切众生安隐无畏道解脱门。
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, commentary slide here. So we're in the section that talks about the Kumbhanda celestial king. Kumbhanda celestial kings are rulers, world rulers at the first desire heaven, very close to the human realm here. It's halfway up Mount Sumeru. And his name is Terrifying. The very terrifying. Not just terrifying, very, very terrifying. Okay? Kumbhanda, according to Master YongHua, Kumbhandas are frightening, but this one's even more frightening than all of them. And the king, the king of very terrifying king. and he inspires fear, terror in living beings, all kinds of living beings. And it's one of the reasons because he has a frightening appearance. However, inside he has a kind and compassionate mind and really wants to help living beings. And he became enlightened by revealing to all living beings the path of fearlessness that leads to peace and actually not security, but fearlessness. I will correct it a little bit later on in the later slide. Okay. So he teaches living beings, and by inspiring fear in them. And Master YongHua says, this is a great thing about Master YongHua. He brings up all this beautiful Chinese wisdom that we can profit from. That the superior person has 3 fears. You're talking about someone who is better than the average people already, and that's why he's called superior, because he thinks differently, he lives differently, and behaves differently. He has 3 fears. First of all, he fears the ordinance of heaven, he fears a great person, and finally, he fears the words of a sage. He says here, he is apprehensive and cautious towards the decree of heaven. Okay. People have to remember we're still under the jurisdiction of the heavens, meaning the heavenly beings have a saying over our behavior and can issue heavenly punishment should we fail to live up to their standards. Okay, so don't think that we can do anything we feel like, because we still being watched over by the heavens. All right, and it's kind of funny, but maybe it's a lot. We think that we are the kings, but you see, in a Chinese culture, they have that kind of wisdom built into there already. Where in the ancient China, the emperors of China used to call themselves son of heavens, I think. And they would build towers to worship heavens. So there's some wisdom there, all right? And it's known in that Chinese culture where they recorded events where you actually are punished by the heavens. And so you have to follow the heavenly decrees, all right? Whatever that is. If the heavens issue decree, then you better follow it. That's what the superior person knows. Maybe us average people would not know, but superior people know that they're being watched over, and therefore they must obey the heavenly decrees. Number 2, he says, Master YongHua says here, when he meets a great person, he is apprehensive and respectful. Okay, a great person is a person who is admired and looked up by the multitudes. Therefore, a superior person who's not quite a great person yet, and therefore he tends to be apprehensive and respectful. Respectful, we understand, because you have to respect someone who's better than you, who's wiser than you. Apprehensive, it's probably from the fear of being judged by someone who's better, not being able to measure up to them. Okay, just failing to measure up, and therefore you feel you need to be on your toes. And finally, he is also attentive and reverent towards the words spoken by a sage. The words of a sage, that's what he fears, because he fears that he will fail to measure up to the standards of the sages. So these are the words from the sage, the sagely Confucius. He says 3 levels. You should fear the heavens because they rule over us. You should fear the great person, the standard for the behavior and performance, and finally the sages. Okay, so the ancient in Chinese culture, they already show appreciation for wisdom. Yes, K YouTube.
Thank you, Master. 입근님의 질문입니다. 항상 마스터의 가르침에 감사드립니다. 저는 결혼 후 처갓집에 가면 이상하게도 기운이 빠지고 무기력해지는 상태가 됩니다. 처음에는 낯선 장소와 어색한 분들과 만나다 보니 그런가 싶어 시간이 지나면 괜찮아지겠지 했는데 20년이 지난 지금도 처갓집에만 가면 피곤해지고 기운이 없어지며 눈도 아픈 상태가 됩니다. 그리고 어제 보산사에서 마스터의 법문을 듣고 나서 오후에 처갓집에 들렀는데 도착한 지 5분 정도 지난 상태에서 강한 두통이 생겨났습니다. 그제서야 지난 20년간 왜 그런 현상이 생겼는지 이유를 알게 되었습니다. 이런 일을 와이프에게 이야기한다면 처갓집에 가기 싫어서 그런 핑계까지 되냐고 할 것 같습니다. 제가 생각한 해결 방안은 처갓집에 가서 결과부자를 하던가 아미타부를 염하는 게 좋은 방법일 듯한데 근본적으로 저를 지킬 수 있는 방법이 있을까요? 마스터의 가르침을 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
Master, this is a question from Ipgun. Master, I am always grateful for the Master's teachings. After getting married, whenever I go to my in-laws' house, I strangely become drained of energy and fall into a state of lethargy. At first, I thought it was just because I was in an unfamiliar place and meeting people I wasn't comfortable with, and I assumed it would be getting better over the time. However, even after 20 years, I still feel tired and drained whenever I visit my in-laws' house, and my eyes also start to hurt. Yesterday, after listening to Master's Dharma talk at Bosansa, I stopped by my in-laws' house in the afternoon. After 5 minutes after arriving, I developed a severe headache. Only then did I realize the reason behind the symptoms I have been experiencing for past 20 years. If I were to share this with my wife, she would probably say, I'm just making excuses to avoiding visiting her family. As a solution, I thought about sitting in full lotus or reciting Emitofuo while I'm there, which might help. But I wonder, are there any fundamental methods that I can use to truly protect myself? Thank you for your guidance.
I guess divorce is out of the question. It's interesting, it's been happening for 20 years, and now you begin to notice it. Amazing. Little things in life that we learn. It takes that long for you to learn. Yes, it's a drain because that place there is no good for you. So you finally realized it. And just that's your retribution. That's what you owe them. That's why you have to keep on going there to get drained. And that's life. Okay? I sympathize with your predicament, but there's not a whole lot that you can do. Let me give you some words of reassurance. After you drained, you recover anyway. So think of it as a homage, paying homage to, like in the ancient times in Korea, they used to have to pay homages to the Chinese kings, the Chinese emperors. They have to send money and gold and silver and jewelry every year to the China emperor. And that's the way it is. And so same thing, for the sake of harmony in your own family, getting along with your wife, you should pay homage to the wife's in-laws, your in-laws, and to her family. So it's okay. What you can do is not a whole lot you can do to avoid it. And you shouldn't need to avoid it. My attitude is that, okay, if you know that's a problem, that's a price you have to pay. Pay, have some class. Okay, pay up. And then after you come back, you tell your wife, you tell her the truth. You tell her, for some reason today I'm kind of drained. I don't understand why. So I need some tender, loving care. Or can we stop by a restaurant? Can we stop by for ice cream? This is what you do. You recharge yourself. Grab a can of Pepsi. Okay, it has a way of bringing you up very quickly. Or if you like, a lot of Koreans do that nowadays. Have a cup of coffee. Or tea or something. Recharge yourself. Meditate. Okay? The best way to recharge is to meditate. And that's all you can do. And number two, since you must pay homages to the family, to the in-laws, then you should take your meditation more seriously by meditating more, spending more time. So you can make an agreement or an arrangement with your wife. Say, okay, so I go to your family, and for that time, can I spend more time meditating or going to the temple? And you improve your meditation skills, which enable you to recover even faster or slow down the drainage. At some point in time, you can even stop it completely. I would not recommend stopping it completely, okay? Because of point number three being that they're draining you because they need it. Okay? So this is your gift to them. Paying homage to the Chinese emperor, you feel bad about it. But on the other hand, if you pay gladly for whatever the reasons is in your heart, they say, you need this, I will give it to you. Even though you're draining me, I am gladly here, I'm glad to give it to you. And it's you're better off that way. It's about attitude. Okay? Because when you're being drained and you're inside, you're grumbling and you're complaining and you're whining, like a lot of women, okay, then it creates this ill will from you towards your in-laws. It's not healthy. Okay, I don't recommend it. Sometimes to me, if I have to pay, I pay gladly, and I refuse to harbor resentment, harbor ill will, because of that. Okay, I hope it helps. Thank you for asking. All right, good luck to you. Why? Now you know why we're not married. Okay, Slide 125. Master YongHua further explained. He says people have a lot of reasons to be scared. Scared of tiger, scared of the dark, scared of people. Because one major reason is their attachment to life. In other words, they're afraid of death. Actually, and there's this ever-present fear of death that most ordinary people harbor in their hearts. So it's kind of interesting. We all are afraid of death, and it's because there's nothing we can do about it. We're marching inexorably towards death, and it's a scary thing. Okay, you relinquish control. We fight so hard our entire lives to have control over our lives, our destinies, our futures. Okay, and we're saying over ourselves and others, and yet we have no control over our death. And as a matter of fact, it's that fear is real because nothing you can do. Everyone dies, including Buddhas. As a Buddhist wisdom, whatever is born must die. As long as you have birth, there's always death. Okay? So that fear there is a gripping fear for most ordinary people. Okay? When you're younger, you ignore it, and when death suddenly comes, that moment there, most of us, we are terrified, we're paralyzed. Okay? So that's why this celestial king here, Kumano celestial king here, knows that. He knows his innate fear, this gripping fear that we all experience, and that's why he says, when you're so fearful, it's not just death, but the fear of death there translates into all sorts of related fears. Okay, not just death, but fear of losing an arm. Anyone? Fear of losing your love. So all sorts of fears that will freeze us. Okay, and so he bestows. So he shows living being the path. Okay, how to cultivate, leading to peace. Okay, peace. The turmoil before death is that lack of peace in our lives, and fearlessness. Wu Wei is not security. And this is the Chinese teaching is very, very precise. He teaches about An is safety, okay, or security, and Wu Wei and fearlessness. Yes, Wei Mountain. A very strong echo here at DDT.
Why am I scared of death if I died 1,000 million times before in the past?
I mean, you're not afraid of death?
I'm really scared, but why if I've been through it a lot?
Did you remember the last time you died?
No.
That's why you're not as afraid.
Could you repeat that?
You don't quite remember the last time you died. Every time that you're born, everything resets. Okay? The prior lives don't matter anymore. Most of us have no clear memory of past lives, so it doesn't matter. We start anew. But in general, you have a fear of death because of the final state of things and the lack of control. We lose control. We are control freaks. We work so hard our entire lives to have control over it. And there's one thing we can never wrestle away control is control over death. So that's why it's terrifying for us. Okay? The strongest men, the smartest men in the world still are afraid of death inside, even though outside, outwardly, they pretend not to be fearful, they pretend to be strong, and macho and all those things. But inside, they are terrified of losing control of their lives. And then, furthermore, one thing that's very terrifying to us as well is of the lack of having to face oh no, what's going to happen to us after death? And no one can tell them. They cannot believe anything. They have no proof of anything, of the things that happen to us after death. Okay? And that's why religions prey on a lot of people on the fear of death. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for asking. Okay, so An, so you have An is safety here. So he bestows what he teaches living beings, and he helps them attain safety and fearlessness. So this combination tells us that safety here refers to peace of mind. This is why Master YongHua explains peace. Okay, actually the actual word An is safety. Okay, and safety, security. So this safety, security here refers to the mental state of mind, okay, where you are at peace. That's why the translation to peace here. And finally, it's not just security alone, peace alone, but also it's fearlessness. This is very, very important. You are fearful because you have no wisdom. Even arhats, these fourth-stage arhats, the 4 A's, they still have this fear as well. But they don't recognize it as fear. They don't realize it's fear. Okay? So it's only because their wisdom is not complete yet. That's why they're still fearful. If you don't have wisdom, you can't help it. You have fear. So therefore, here in the particular example here in Buddhism, and this is very Mahayana, when we talk about fearlessness and giving fearlessness, is that it's necessary requirement for you to obtain prajna wisdom. The only way for you to have fearlessness, to experience fearlessness, is to have prajna wisdom. No other ways about it. And that's why you don't realize that the training we do is to help you attain fearlessness. Okay, in order for you to get there. All right? Yes, YouTube.
Thank you, Master. Diego Fonso has a question. Emitofuo, Master, does the Dharma body of the Buddha also die and come back time and time again? Thank you.
Not at all. The Dharma body of the Buddha is permanently dwelling. It never dies. It's not born. It's not. That's why it never dies. All right. The Shakyamuni Buddha. Shakyamuni Buddha is the Buddha that's a transformation body. So he manifests birth into our realm. Because he manifests birth, therefore, eventually he must manifest death. All right? And so finally here, the point here is the style of teaching. He first causes terror in your heart, okay? And if you don't run away, then you learn how to overcome the terror in your heart. That's how you become fearless. That's his style of teaching. All right? Any questions about that? It's always, because, see, it's like, unlike you parents, when your kids are fearful, you say, okay, I protect you, okay? And go to great lengths to protect them and prevent your children from experiencing fear. That's the actions of someone who has no wisdom. Whereas this guy, this Kumbhanda king here, celestial king here, is a Bodhisattva. Therefore, his style of teaching is much more effective than yours, meaning that he decides to create more fear in you, more fear than you can handle. Then he'll teach you how to get to fearlessness. There's a lot more things going on in Mahayana training. There is time to tell you that we can possibly put down in writing. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Master, so this Kumbhanda king is a transformation body of a Mahasattva, and he terrified people to teach us how to become fearless.
That's why I just said yes.
Okay. Yes, Master.
Okay. Next one, 127. Kumbhanda king, wondrous adornment, gain a passage into liberation, whereby he dries up the sea of love and desire of all sentient beings.
妙庄严鸠盘荼王得消解一切众生爱欲海解脱门。
128. Master YongHua says, he destroys and dries up the love and desire of living beings. And not only does it destroy, but also he dries up love and desires of living beings. And Master YongHua says, it's because the original thought of ignorance, which keeps on growing. Once you have a thought that arises, you notice that you keep on producing more thoughts that pursue those thoughts. This is the nature of the thinking process that we're so proud of, that we go to school, we receive education to follow, to encourage that thought, whether you call it analysis or whatever, okay? It's useful up to a certain point, but it creates other problems. Okay? And so So because of ignorance, it manifests itself eventually in a form of love and desires in us. Okay, and that's a sign of stupidity. And love and desire are as profuse as the ocean, and this Kumbhanda king knows how to destroy our love and desires and dry up our sea of love and desires. Okay, and that's how he functions, and that's what he does. This will certainly, definitely keep him very, very busy, because we have a lot of love and desire. It's a long-term process for him, because he chooses to address the love and desire issues. Okay, so if you have a lot of love and desire, this is his specialty. Pray to him. 129. Kumbhanda king, wisdom like a high peak, gain a passage into liberation of, universally manifesting a cloud of light in all destinies.
高峰会鸠盘荼王得普现诸趣光明云解脱门。
All right, Wei Mountain has a question.
Thank you, Master. I have a practical and a theory question. My practical question is, I went home for July 4th weekend to spend with my family, and when I left, I felt very good. But once I got home, I had like no energy whatsoever. Like I just kept wanting to sleep and sleep and sleep. And no matter how much I slept, I couldn't get my energy back. And my mom just kept saying, "Oh, you look so depressed." And I didn't feel depressed, but my energy was still way low. I was just wondering what I could do after Achanchi to keep my energy up after I leave.
And what's the other question?
The theory question is about the Kumbhanda king who causes fear within us. In the beginning of every lecture, we say, teach us how to end birth and death. And I was wondering what that meant. Does it mean, I heard a story about arhats saying that they were searching for the deathless, and that's how they found the Buddha. And I don't know if that means like we should be searching for some type of immortality, or is it something else altogether?
I don't understand the question. Would you mind repeating the question again?
Yeah. There's a story about arhats that I heard. One of the key arhats, and they said they had left their master, and they said, "Oh, we'll meet back together again if we find the deathless." And then they found the Buddha. And when we start our lectures, we say, "Please teach us how to end birth and death." I don't know what that means. I don't think it means that we are cultivating so that we can become immortal, have the same life and memories forever. But I don't know what the alternative could be.
What's immortal? Immortal to you is to live forever? Is that it?
Immortal to me would mean to maintain some type of like core identity forever. So that like it'd be like me working forever till I become a Buddha, and it's like my efforts perpetually continuing forward until I reach some grand goal.
We just earlier was saying that as long you have birth, then you have death. So therefore, the concept of immortality that you have is in contradiction to what I just said. Buddhist wisdom is that if you have birth, you will die. There's no way for you to exist forever.
Well, I guess it would be like the Alaya consciousness always being present. Like that no matter if you switch bodies over and over again, you still have access to this thing that like perpetually continues forward. And that's what my conception of ending birth and death is. But I don't know if that's right.
That's not right. Basically, the training we provide you is hopefully one day will bring you to non-birth. It's an aspiration when you say, teach me how to reach non-birth, because it's a very desirable state that you don't quite understand yet. But it will be very rewarding for you, a lot more rewarding than anything else you can imagine. Not just rewarding, but also in terms of biggest accomplishment in life. Anything you can think of in this world pales in comparison to the rewards and the benefits that you get from attaining non-birth. All right? Eventually you get there. It's not something you can understand. As far as the first question goes, it's a similar question as we asked before from Korea. You go and you get drained, and you come back. Eventually, you may be in a high. That's why when you left, you felt that you were still okay, but you used a lot of energy. That's why you got a drop in energy later. That's natural. When we use up the energy, eventually we will experience a trough in the level of energy. Just have to recover. That's all. That's life. Life is not about fear of losses, avoiding losses. That's for sissies. Life is about how can I recover from my losses? Because we all experience loss, all sorts of losses. And we learn to recover from it. Only wimps would be afraid to have losses. That's the behavior of ordinary people. They're constantly so afraid to lose. They're so fearful. Yes, 4.
Master, I have 2 questions about the previous 2 Kumbhana king. The first one is, what kind of people will be not afraid when a tiger is trying to eat you? Not only the person is not afraid of person death, not afraid of death, but also person's not afraid of pain. I'm just like, this is way beyond me. I'm wondering whether it's appropriate to ask the question, what kind of people will be not afraid of that? And
the kind of people who are not afraid of death would not be afraid of tigers.
Okay.
And it's not me. Just like you, I'm afraid of tigers, if that's what you're driving at. Okay? They understand fearlessness, meaning inside their heart, they're no longer afraid of death. And therefore, what can a tiger do to you? The worst it could do to you is kill you. And you're not afraid to be killed. How can you be afraid of a tiger then? And you might say, what if he doesn't kill me? He only uses his paws and wipe off my lower jaw. Okay? I look funny. It will be terrible. I said, yeah. Then there's plastic surgery. And you don't need to learn to eat without chewing. There's no fear at all.
so the person is really not attached to anything.
It's not attached to life. That's why he's not afraid of death. The point being that the reason that you're afraid of death is because you lack wisdom. If you develop true wisdom, then you no longer are afraid of death. Ordinary people, their whole lives, they spend their whole lives running away and delaying death. We don't need to run away from it. We don't need even to think about delaying death. Because this is simply, ordinary people simply don't know how to deal with death. That's why they're so afraid of it. If you have wisdom, you can choose to live and cheat death. But then the next question, why would you want to do that? What's the big deal about life? Okay? So in answer to your question, your fear there, the fear, Master YongHua put it, that fear is based on, at the lowest level, fear of death. Or from fear of death, you rise a fear of loss, the fear of of different types of losses. Okay? All sorts of losses you cannot stand actually are built upon that lowest level called fear of death. Okay? Loss is basically a death of your properties. A death of your assets. Okay? So that's what most people, most ordinary people fail to understand. That's how they never be able to overcome the fear of death, because there's nothing they can do about it. On the other hand, if you have wisdom, you're able to, you get yourself in a position to rise above death, okay? Then there's no more fear.
I feel I'm less afraid of death. I'm more afraid of the tiger.
Okay? It's because you still have a fear of death in there. That's why you say that. You can intellectually, you can reason and say, well, you're right. It's true that I'm less fearful than before. Okay? You can also extend the same statement as, I'm a lot less afraid of tigers than before. Yeah? Think about it. A lot less fearful of tigers. It goes in parallel. If you're a lot less afraid of death, then you're also a lot less afraid of fear of tigers, fear of losing your husband, fear of losing your job, fear of losing money, and so on and so on and so on. It's a fear of death is the bottom layer of that fear. Can you see that? Same exact thing. So you're still afraid of tiger is because you are still afraid of death. That's why. And you're not sensitive enough to see that. How come I'm a lot less afraid than tigers, but I'm still afraid? I'm a lot less afraid of death, but I'm still afraid of tigers. And the answer again is that you are a lot less afraid of tigers than before as well. That's a fact. Otherwise, you cannot be a lot less afraid of death. That's impossible. This is why you guys can talk all you want, but it's contrary to the principles. You think it makes sense to you. Actually, it doesn't from a Buddhist perspective.
Is that possible? I'm still very afraid of a tiger because I'm afraid of pain. Like if I just die in my sleep and I have a pre-49, so I'm less afraid of that?
Your fear of pain, the fear of tiger is still there, okay? However, comparatively speaking, compared to before, your fear of tiger is a lot less than before. You feel pain is a lot less than before. Let's face it. That's my point. And as long as you have that fear of tiger, the bottom line is that you still are afraid of death. Wait until you are no longer afraid of death. That's when you see that tigers are a lot less scary. And actually you're able to turn off the fear of the tiger when necessary. Listen. This is what happens to you. Ordinary people. I'll give you an example. When a husband goes home, look at his wife. Okay, he's terrified because he's afraid of her. Okay, for some reason he's always afraid of his wife. Anyone? So real men out there, no one can understand my fear. I mean, yeah? Okay? All right. Just fear that grips you. No rhyme or reason. You're just afraid. All right? Just like someone points a gun at you. Of course, the first impression, oh, you're afraid. Right? You're going to lose your life. Correct? Let me ask you, the opposite. Someone points a gun to you, and you're not afraid at all. Anyone? Raise your hand. Andres? You're not afraid at all, are you?
No, it scares me just thinking about it.
Hey, bro, when I'm high, I'm not going to be afraid of the gun, okay?
That'd be even worse.
You're even worse, okay, in your case. The point being that, okay, Andres is a bad example, okay? But someone points a gun at you, the first reaction is fear. The fear that arises very quickly. Agree? Okay, that's why I gave the analogy. When someone points a gun at you, okay, then it's the same for me. It's when my wife looks at me in a certain way. I'm terrified. Yes, Wei Mao.
Hello.
Yeah.
So Vietnamese YouTube has a question. Fu Ting asks, hello, Master. So when you talk about the dead, I would like to ask you, in the Dharma of mandala, trying to cross over people, does it really help with the dead so that they can attain liberation and they can rebirth to the Buddha land, or the attain of liberation depending on the potential of the person, the karmic force, or their cultivation?
In the Dharma Mala, what's that?
Mandala Dharma. Cái pháp Mandala.
Oh, the Mandala Dharma. So this is Tibetan. Okay, ask your Tibetan thing. I don't know why they use mandalas. Okay, mandalas maybe work for some people, but it doesn't work for me. I go to mandala, I still die, I assure you. Okay, so I can't relate with that. So I don't understand why they have to use mandala to save people. I don't get it. It doesn't work like that. Okay? Not in my world. In Buddhism, we teach you to end your birth and death. We cannot end birth and death for you. those very clear concepts in Mahayana. No such a thing as I can end birth and death for you. If that's the case, then Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would be out of a job. There's a very, very concepts and very, very critical concepts that are distorted with these different teachings. How can you end birth and death when you enter a mandala? That's impossible. And go back and check your teachings again. It's against Mahayana principles. All right? So let me go back to my example. There are plenty of instances in life where you're terrified. I jokingly brought up the example of facing your wife, okay, where she terrorizes you, especially after you've done some really misbehaved. That's why you become afraid. Okay? Now, that fear that arises is natural. Someone points a gun at you, of course, the first reaction, you're scared. Or there's a sudden noise. You're scared. Okay? Someone screams at you, yell at you. All of a sudden, of course, we react. We jump. That's normal. A gun goes up near our ear, or the fireworks on 4th of July. And it's too close to us. We are taken by surprise. And therefore, fear arises naturally. Okay? I'm not talking about exception, I'm talking about a general state of mind. Okay? The only exception is that when you're in samadhi, all those noises, all those guns will not do anything to you. I'm talking about a regular person. I'm talking about regular life. Okay, folks? You're not an arhat where you can afford to be in samadhi all the time. Basically, you are useless to me. Okay? You're always in samadhi. You're not real. Imagine your husband going back home and you yell at him, he's in samadhi. He says, okay, honey, okay. You want a divorce? Okay. You want more children? Okay. What do you want? You want? Okay. How can you live with a person like that? He's basically useless to you. You come to him and say, I almost died today. I never thought I could see you again. Okay. So these people are useless in society because they're always in samadhi. Do you get it? They should not be in society. They're better off going to the wilderness and live off by themselves and die by themselves because they're useless to us. They use up our water, they use up our air, and use up our resources. They're doing nothing for us. Okay? I'm talking to a regular person like Master YongHua, who has wisdom. He can be like that, but he says, no, I'm going to be engaging in society. I'm going to eat like you. I'm going to drink like you. I'm going to smile like you. I'm going to laugh like you. I'm going to suffer like you. I'm going to enjoy it like you. Because I need to help you. I need to be close to you so that I can help you. That's the price I have to pay for me to help you, to experience your pain, your joy, and your pleasures. Do you get it? I'm not talking about these self-serving arhats and pratyeka Buddha who says, I can get above suffering, I don't need to suffer anymore. Good luck to you. They're only good for themselves. They're absolutely useless to you and to me. So that's why, let's talk about a regular case with someone who has wisdom. Let me tell you, they have wisdom, meaning they are not afraid of death anymore. Okay? And instead of saving themselves, they say, okay, I know I took care of my death, birth and death, I have no issue anymore, but I need to go back and save my mom. I need to go back and save my children. I need to go back and save my husband. Okay? So they go back. Let me tell you, for these people, in order to save their husbands, to save their children, save their mother, save their friends, okay, they will experience fear of death like them, like the others. Why? Because if they didn't, they cannot appreciate the difficulties that of those people. They cannot help them. They cannot get close to them. Therefore, they must, in Buddhism, in Mahayana, children, it's called 同事, meaning we do the same thing as you. If you're fearful, we're fearful. You enjoy it, we enjoy. You get it? Meaning if you're afraid, we also are afraid. Any problems with that, children? You've been reading too many books. You don't say, oh, these people have wisdom, therefore they're like stones already. They're like wood already. They have no more feelings. They're above us. They're so special. They speak Dharma and they're so adorned. They are so happy while we're suffering. My God, what's the matter with you? You believe anything you read? It's an act. They cannot possibly save you unless they experience the same pain, the same suffering, the same joy, the same pleasures that you experience. It's the only way for them to save you. Therefore, they must be able to experience your fears as well. What do you think? They can be fearless, but they choose to experience the same fears as you. Can you see the difference between an idiot, a loser who's always scared, versus they who are not scared, but they choose to experience your fear? That's the difference, folks. And look at the in-between, that loser guy, the arhat, or the Prateka Buddha who says, I don't need to experience fear. I don't need to experience all the suffering, affliction you have to go through. I have a choice. I choose not to. And that's why I call them losers. They really are losers in my eyes. Because they're afraid. They don't realize that they still are afraid of what? Afraid to experience suffering. Don't you get it? They still don't get it. It's so blatantly obvious to me that if you distance yourself from pain and suffering, it's because you're afraid of pain and suffering deep down. Aren't you? And this is, to me, this is what idiots in Buddhism think they understand Buddhism and say, I cultivate, for I see these people, they really have wisdom because they're fearless, they are so adorned, they so have no afflictions. Give me a break. It's an act, guys, for your donations. How can they save you? Because in your worst moments in your life, when you're most fearful, that's when you need help. They need to be there, need to understand that before they can save you, they can help you. This is why, to me, the Asian Mahayana, Asian Buddhism is full of crap. They build up these images that because these people have no wisdom, that's why they do these things. Look at my master, Master YongHua. He laughs, he cries, he screams, he yells. And he's a great sage. You ever seen this video where he said, okay, today we're going to talk about the ending your birth and death. And they're always in samadhi. He has no idea what's happening to you. This is the reason why they need to experience it. They need to experience it so that they can save you at the right time. When you're too full of yourself, they have to wait until you experience fear and pain. And they need to know your fear and pain is not an exercise, it's a real thing for them as well. Do you get it? These Asian Buddhist teachers and these Buddhist so-called experts, they're full of crap to me. They don't know what they're talking about. They say, oh, these bodhisattvas are above all of us, above all that, and therefore they are so far superior to us. Idiots! You don't understand Buddhism at all. It's just the same as we are. Why do you think in the Pure Land, when you go to the Western Bliss Pure Land, Amitabha Buddha forces the bodhisattvas to cultivate with you, with idiots like you, so that they can help you. That's part of the cultivation. And they can't help you unless they experience what you're experiencing. That's the depth of Tong Shi, doing the same work. It's actually translated Tong Shi, actually, Tong actually same phenomenon. It's not Shi is phenomenon, meaning you are fearful, they're fearful. You're happy, they're happy. Shh, don't explain to the Chinese, okay, the Vietnam people, you understand? They think Tong Shi is like, do the same work. No, actually, same phenomenon. You understand how, girl? Shi is Shu Li, the Shi. Same manifestation. Shh. It's never been explained before, folks. You get it? It's a Shi, not Shu. Shu Li, the Shi. Nomenon and phenomenon. The Buddhism is very profound. For idiots, we teach you, we basically wait for you to say, Tong Shi is, I do the same thing as you. Yeah, for you losers, that's how we explain to you. But since you advance, now I teach you. Shi is actually the same manifestation. Meaning, if you're fearful, they're fearful. You're happy, they're happy. The same exact manifestation, therefore they understand you. Okay, let me finish my point before I forget. I'm getting old, I'm forgetful. A lot more forgetful than the rest of you. Okay, you got that? So they experience the same thing. Meaning, they experience fear. It's not an act. This is an act. Yes, I'm in samadhi. I am magnanimous. Okay, I'm better than you. That's an act. Okay, for them, it's real. In order to save you, they need to experience your fear, experience your sleeplessness, your sleepiness. Okay, experience everything you experience. That's why they call it wading into the mud. Wading into all afflictions, which are like mud to them. Ikea. But they still do it. It's by choice. It's not an act. If you're afraid of guns, they're afraid of guns too. They want to experience your fear. Tong Shi. You like it, huh, girl? I have a lot of tricks up my sleeves. It's so much I haven't explained to you yet. Because I want to demystify these idiots who claim to be experts in Buddhism in Asia. at the universities, at the temples. Nonsense. So, got that? 同时 they experience same thing you experiencing. You got the death of that old man? Never mind. Okay? So what separates them from you then? They experience it, they flip it immediately. So instead of being terrified like you of the tigers, they experience your fear. Oh, this is scary. Gone. That's the difference. Because if not, they'll be as paralyzed as you are. Is it clear now? This is how they function. Isn't it beautiful? And things they do for you. Yes.
Just the one clarified question. You mean like when I'm fearful, they not just understand I'm fearful because they used to experience, they actually experience at the same time and then they flip it over.
No, when they experience fear, they have a choice. Do I continue to be fearful or shall I just need to go to work? I can't work if I'm paralyzed. Okay? This is addressed just like that. But if they need to be fearful to help you, they continue to be fearful. There's a choice. Whereas you don't have a choice. When you're scared, you're terrified, and that's it. You're paralyzed. There's nothing you can do. You basically are a punching bag. They're not punching bags when they choose not to be. I hope it helps. This is why we should revere them, because they're far superior to us. You know, it's not the same. Don't use our same standards to judge them. And this is your problem, because my problem too, initially. Because when I first learned, I learned from these idiots, disciples, Master YongHua. He gave me these wrong understanding of Mahayana Buddhism, especially of bodhisattvas, because they have no wisdom whatsoever. I'm not bitter. I'm just telling you that Buddhism, I hope to bring Buddhism and all of your knowledge to the level where you understand the depth of Buddhism, not these Dharma ending age images and lofty standards. They are fake. They're not Mahayana, the Mahayana that our Buddha taught originally. I want you one day to be able to explain that to them, to your people. To the people who come and listen to you. You know? It's not the way you think. Don't worry about what the other loser monk and nun say. They don't matter in our world. They're like little noises, little firecrackers going off. Okay? It's nothing. It's harmless. They only are designed to frighten people like you. Got that? You have work to do, girl. We have to help these people have the proper understanding of Buddhism. It's not a damn material thing. It's about their understanding. Why are you stuck on material things? Are stuck on marks? Idiots. Yes, 4.
Master, can I ask a second question?
Yeah, sure.
My second question is about the previous Gandhava king. You said love and desires caused by ignorance. So could you elaborate a little bit about how, like, let's say my love for my son, what kind of ignorance caused that?
Well, eventually you understand. Just It's not something you can understand right now, but eventually, this is the Buddha's teaching, that ignorance there is a root source of the love and desire. Okay, that's all we have to memorize for now. Okay? Yes, Way Mountain. Why are you so attached to marks? What's the matter with you? What do we need? Huh? Do you need anything to teach? Clear lack of wisdom. You're so attached to things, to marks. Yes, Way Mountain.
Thank you, Master. I really appreciate the deep dive into what fear is. And I have a question about fearlessness. I want to try and make it pragmatic. There's two examples of fearlessness that I've experienced. One is in sports, or experiencing fear. There's two examples of experiencing fear. One is in sports and one is in the workplace. In sports, the first time I saw an 85-mile-per-hour fastball come at me, I thought I was going to die, and I froze. But then
you see, it only happened in the WMT. And we have a Dharma protector there, a big one. I've been patiently waiting on that big Dharma protector. What the heck do you think you're doing, huh? You dare let them interrupt my work? They can do anything they want when I'm not working, but not while I'm working. That's insulting to me. Do your jobs, guys. Or you want me to do it for you. If I do it for you, what the heck are you doing in my temple? Continue.
Thank you, Master. In sports, like the 85-mile-per-hour fastball comes at me, and at first I'm frozen stiff with fear, but then over time I face that fear and I'm able to hit the ball and take action. In work, I've had experiences where a message comes to me that is a professional gap or weakness, and it threatens my job, the death of my job, fire. And over time, when encountered with those situations, I experience the fear, but I feel like I'm able to, I don't know if the right word is transform, but can you maybe talk a little bit about the process to become fearless or more fearless or less fearful? I'm not really sure how to phrase the question, I apologize, but I feel like there's a pragmatic approach that might be a path.
It's a natural thing for you to be afraid of death. You in particular, you should be afraid of death. That's a natural thing. Because again, Buddhist teaching is because you have ignorance, a deep layer of ignorance that manifests itself as a fear of death. That's the way it is. So through meditation, through more cultivation, eventually you get to be able to get rid of the fear. Okay? And that fear of death there manifests itself also as a fear of fastball coming at you, or fear of losing a job. That's a form of death as well. All right? And ultimately, you're able to let go of the fear because you look at it as empty. You look at, not the fastball is empty, but it can hurt you. But the hurt and the pain is empty. This is why, for example, we teach you losers to cross your legs, and when you have pain, you endure until one day you understand pain is empty. That's why when you understand pain is empty, then the pain doesn't bother you anymore. It can no longer bother you. And you are able to stop the pain anytime you feel like. You can choose to be experiencing pain, or you can choose not to have pain. It's your choice. Okay? It's part of the training. Don't you see that? If you keep on looking for excuses, I have pain, I don't like it, I don't like it. The only thing you have to do is face it. Losers. Stop making excuses and making whining and I hate this. Why do I have to do this? You do it because you're still afraid of it. That's the most important reason. As long as you're still afraid of it, and still you're experiencing pain and you hate it, keep doing it until it stops bothering you. Okay? If it stops bothering you, then you see you're experiencing that state where pain is empty. You understand the training now? That's why, since day one, we push you into the abyss right away. Experience pain. And losers, what do they do when they experience pain or fear? They run away. That's why we say, nice of you to come. We're so grateful you came. But goodbye. Because this is not for you. But if you have enough blessing, you keep on coming back, you undergo the training, you will get to the point of fearlessness, of be able to see that the pain is empty, guaranteed. Once you see the pain is empty, then you understand emptiness. Then you see that a lot of things are empty, including relics. You understand, old man? How the heck can you be so attached to relics? I don't get it. I try to make fun, I try to insult you, I try to do all kinds of things, you still don't get it. They're empty. You have no wisdom whatsoever. How did you ever get stuck in that concept that relics are relics? No, they're empty to me. They're not empty to others, but they're empty to me. I'm prepared to give them away because they're empty. Why are you so attached to it, old man? When are you going to wake up and grow up, huh? You're too old to be attached to stupid things like that. Yes, I call it stupid. If you attach to it, you are stupid. You're attached to a stupid thing. It doesn't manifest for you to be attached to. Grow up, old man. Now I'm in trouble with the relics people, relics, spirits and bodhisattvas and so forth. I don't give a damn, it's empty. That's my only excuse. You understand that once you are experiencing emptiness, then you see that you can detach from the fear, any fear. Or anything. Relics without relics, temple without temple, money without money, so empty. Let me go back to my point. You will experience fear when someone points a gun at you. Okay? But it's very important. You have a choice, people. When you are stupid, you have no wisdom, you can choose, you have no choice. You say, okay, I'm dead. He's going to shoot me. But if you have wisdom, you immediately fix that fear and say, okay, if I die, I die. If I live, I live. If I'm meant to die, I will die. If I'm meant to live, I will live. I'm meant to have relics, I have relics. I'm not meant to have relics, I won't have relics. There's no point in me attaching to it. If more relics come, they come. They don't come, I don't care. That's why I have so many. Because they need to come, not because I want them. Do you get it? You never thought, oh man, why they come? You think it's because of you? No, it's not. It's not at all. I tell you, it's not because of you. Get that through your thick skull. You know the reason why they appear. Does it help? You still have a question? You have a lot of questions tonight. Well, I'm glad you have a question because there's no one else who's asking questions here.
Master can always count on me on that. When you say pain is empty, Master, what does that mean? Or is that something I have to get myself? Because you used to say emptiness is no
What
thinking.
empty? It's
no
not
thoughts.
there.
It's not there.
It's not there. What pain? If you understand emptiness, pain comes and says, what pain? Just like that Apple advertising nowadays. Security, privacy. You remember that ad they have? That you're using your phone, and then there's a camera with wings flying around everywhere watching you. Okay, an apple, and then you shows an apple, and all those cameras disappear. Okay, they disappear. That's emptiness. There's nothing there. What? You can't see anything. Are you free now, old man? Now you can live 2 more years because you don't. If you still attach to those rocks things, you're gonna die soon. You're too attached to marks, to things. They're all empty. What's the matter with you? These idiots got to you. Wake up. You have to wake up to the fact they feel so special. That's why, and that's why they say, I'm special. And you special too because relics appear. But what's underneath is I'm special because relics appear to me and then they appear to you. So we're special. You're an idiot. Do you understand? Okay, go force, because I like go force people.
Hello, Master. Can I ask a follow-up question to whatever you just taught?
I'm Republican.
So,
Even though Republican is empty, I'm still Republican.
so for a low-life person like me who still have a lot of attachment, I cannot empty yet. Is it still my duty to pay respect to the relics?
Nothing wrong with it. You're paying respect to a symbol on the Buddha. You're paying respect to the fact that they appear because of some very important forces behind the appearance of that. There's nothing wrong with paying respect to that. All I'm scolding, I've been trying to scold the old idiot here, is that it's okay to be attached, it's not okay to be attached to it. It's okay for you to bow to the Buddha image, but don't be attached to it. Am I making sense to you?
Yes.
It's okay to be kind to your daughter, but you can get rid of your daughter any day. It's the state of the Avatamsaka Sutra is teaching. they're interfused. The have and the existence and emptiness are interfused. Okay? Meaning that you can pay respect to the Buddha relics, but you're not attached to the relics. That's why I'm teaching you. Okay, I'm Republican, but I'm not attached to Republicans. I would never vote for Donald Trump, but I still accept him as my president. You still have problems? Go for us?
Next 3 years.
Okay, no more questions? Okay, go ahead, go for us. I'm really going all out on a limb here for go for us, people. I want you to remember that. And it's not empty. Better not think of it as empty.
맞어. 그럼.
No, it's okay. You're empty. I'm going to finish the slide here so that next time I can continue on 131. Is that okay? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so Master YongHua said, I need to explain this to you before I can finish. I can move on. So this guy here, this Kumbhana king here, he appears everywhere. All the different destinies, everywhere. Whoever you are, whatever realm you are at, he can appear. Can you imagine the kind of power he has? He's able to do that. It's for real. Okay? And when he appears in those destinies for these beings that are in trouble, okay, he manifests as a cloud of light. Okay? And from a cloud of light, he doesn't manifest as himself. He just manifests as a cloud of light. Okay? And with this cloud of light, they help living beings achieve great wisdom. Isn't it fascinating what these people do? My point is that I don't want you to I don't want to ask questions. I want you to ask me questions either. So he sees that you are in trouble and you're afflicted and you're sad, you're depressed, and so forth. He will manifest a cloud of light. It's not like the other guys, the other bodhisattvas. They come and they speak Dharma to you, they dance to you, or they sing to you, okay, or they terrorize you like the prior Kumbhana ghost king. Okay, this guy here, he manifests as a cloud of light. And because he manifests a cloud of light, you open wisdom. How is it possible? Isn't it fascinating? It doesn't pique your interest. I'm curious. How can you manifest a cloud of light and then these beings have great wisdom, Yes, go for us. Please go for us. They don't listen, do they? Yeah, forget it.
Master, I have a short question.
Wait till tomorrow. It's patient. Learn patience. Okay. So you see that it's fascinating to me. That's why I want to finish it so that I don't want you to lose sleep over it. How can you manifest a cloud of light and all of a sudden living beings have wisdom? Let me explain to you. Don't try to answer. I don't have time. Okay, don't waste my time because I know you can't. When you are afflicted, you are in a state of confusion. He would somehow manifest a cloud of light. Okay, there's a cloud that's very bright. That all of a sudden you can see. Here in sunset, it's impossible. It's always cloudy. Okay? When the clouds are really dark, there's no light in the clouds. But he manifests a cloud light all of a sudden, and then you're not afflicted anymore. And that's a power. It's a magical power of wisdom. Okay? Very much like giving you something closer to you. When you see someone and you feel like peaceful, this person looks the same as the next monk or next person. But when you're near this person, you look at this person, you feel peaceful. You feel calmer. Yeah? Same thing with a cloud of light. Exact same thing. Fascinating. But he has the power. When he manifests a cloud of light, at the right time only, mind you, he's not going around manifest clouds of light everywhere. You hear? Okay, don't think that's what he does all day. Oh, clouds there, clouds there, clouds there, everywhere. No, he patiently waits. And then when the time comes to manifest a cloud of light, when you afflict it, that's when you open your wisdom. It's beautiful. And the subtlety of the Dharma door. That's why he's a Mahasattva. You're not impressed. I don't care. You're empty anyway. Thank you everyone for your patience. We stop here tonight. Thank you.